Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and we're here at Friday. So first of all, I'll wish everybody a wonderful weekend, and it's my final part of GLOBELAND today. So yesterday we did a cover and I used a few of the dies that come in this planner page set. So this is what we did yesterday, and we're going to do different things today. Yes, we are. So I did cut out some more of the pieces that come with this. So there's two more tags that I've cut out. I've done the photo frames. So this is what they look like if you just cut them out. So it was the hello, we've got the today, we've got the photo, whoops, get this away from that one, and we've got time, and we've got happy, because it comes with a layering base. Now obviously all your letter bits pop out, you can pop those straight back in, but with the frame you'll get a piece that drops out, so you can just put your frame over any selection or image that you want and pop it in there, so that you've got a full photo frame. Now the other thing that I never cut out, oh, I'll show these. You get two gorgeous little tags, you get the fishtail banner, and you get a circle. This is such a great set, and you get that gorgeous little suitcase. I absolutely love that. And you also get a camera, and I said yesterday when I did the paperclip that you can stick stuff on, so I put the camera onto the paperclip, and you can then pop your paper clip on whatever you want. So I've actually got a camera onto this one now. Now I wanted to show you the postage stamp again, and what we're going to be doing is using those stamps, the film ones, to create a film strip on acetate. So I'm just going to move these out of the way, and I wanted to share a stamp because I think sometimes people, when they get a stamp die, they can get a bit confused as to how to use it. So if I just move that over a little bit more, hopefully I'm in the centre there. So I've got my scruffy mat down. Now here's a stamp that I've cut out with this die, and to make it more decorative, all you've got to do is match it up to what you die cut. You flip it over and you pop it down. That's all you've got to do. And somewhere here, I think I'm already loaded up with tea dye from yesterday. So you just hold it with two fingers, go in with your blending brush or foam, whatever it is that you like to use. Just keep your fingers down on that section, and you're quite literally just stenciling through the dye so that you've got yourself a colourful inner and a pale outer, which of course is very similar to a postage stamp, so that you end up with something like that. And then from that, I'm just moving my die over, you can then go into your stamps. I'm going to use that camera because I've already used that little camera on that paper clip, and I'm going to stamp a few of these at the end. So I'm just removing everything from the packaging. Move that out of the way. So these sets of stamps come with little elements inside. So I'm going with this one. Teeny tiny camera. Just absolutely gorgeous. And you could stamp it a few times if you wanted to in there and make a kind of camera collage. And if you were going to do that, then you would put your die back on so that, you know, you could go into your stamp quite a few times and not go onto your white edge. That would be the best way to do that. But I'm just going to go in and just do it once, because it could be that I've got a little icon and I might stamp a little word as well. So if I put that there, a little bit of pressure. There you go. So you've got a little camera, and I think I'll grab the smile. Why not? Let's have a smile. So reading things backwards. that is not my strong point, I can tell you now. So I've got my smile on there, and I'm putting my camera back. I don't want to lose that. These are just lovely and cute. Absolutely love them. And of course, any colour you want. This would also look great on a broken china kind of background. So I'm just going to go right there through that line. I haven't got a clue if I'm straight or not, but I quite like that. So, you know, you can just create yourself a bunch of really sweet stamps that you can pop onto absolutely anything. Right, so that is the stamp bit done. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to need to run off and clean my mat. So I'll do that first and be right back. Okay, right, so this is the stamp that I received. The stamp set. And I'm going to be using this long, thin one. That's the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use my stamp platform. And I've decided I like this image here. So I've just got a long strip of leaves, and those will be used for my film strip. And I've got a piece of acetate. I'm also using my stamp platform. So I'm going to bring that out first. Once again, excuse my throat. So if I move those over to there, and then hopefully I can open this, and I have got a sheet of acetate here, and you are going to need a magnet for this because it's imperative that it doesn't move. Right, so I've got that smooshed right into the corner, and of course it's acetate, so keep your lid closed for a while because it'll attract all sorts of fluff. Right, I'm just going to pull off my film strip, and the ink that I'm using today is StazOn, and I will share with you the colours that I'm using, because just because it's a film strip doesn't mean that it has to be black. I mean, it's inked black within the packaging, as you can see there, but I'm going to use StazOn in, what's it called, Spice Chai, and there's another one called Cactus Green that I'm going to use. Right, so first of all I need to just get that down there. Doesn't matter if you're straight or not, because you're going to cut it out with your scissors. Right, I've got it on the clear side, so that's correct. And I'm going to use my Spice Chai first. So these are the two that I've got on my desk. I've got my Cactus Green. Now you'll see it says solvent based ink pad. It needs to be that because you want it to dry on a slick surface. Water based inks are not going to do that. Right, so that lifted up, as you can see, but we want to keep that straight. And I'm inking it up, and I'm sliding it up because I'm hopefully, there you go, you'll be able to see the ink on this. It's a lovely juicy ink pad. Right, so I'm going to now close my lid, and you're going to just rest it down gently. You don't need to over squish it. So just a little bit of pressure, because you don't want it to be all blurred and, you know, weird looking. And then I'm going to gently lift that. And I might need a bit more. Nope. See, oh, I need a little bit more pressure here. That's why you need your stamp platform, because you wouldn't want your acetate sliding all around on you. And then a bit here. Let's see if I've got some contact now. Now you do find this when you're using acetate, so it's not unusual to have to go over it with a little bit of pressure a few times, rather than, you know, a massive squish, which would spread your ink out. Right, I'm going to stick with that because it looks distressed. Now that is going to take 10 minutes to dry, so I'm going to pause and I will be right back. Okay, so that one is almost dry, so I'm going to do a stamping in green. So I'm going to have a little bit of distance. Now you can see that stamp has been cleaned, but StazOn will permanently stain your stamps. Now that doesn't bother me, and I'll tell you why, because a lot of my stamps are primed with black StazOn. You know, you get some stamps that are a bit, you know, sort of ink will pool up on them when they're new. And I know people use nail files and all sorts, but I don't. I just use black StazOn, but it will permanently, you know, stain your stamp. So let's squish that one back down. And now we're going in with our cactus green. And I think I've had this pad a lot longer than the other one, so I'm hoping it's going to stamp. And I'm pretty sure that the grey background of my stamp platform doesn't show things up very well. So let's have a look. Because if this one has dried up a bit, then I'll have to use a different colour. That'll be fun. So let's have a look here. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I'll have to buy a re-inker because it's a great shade. I'm just going to see if my pink one is still juicy. Right, I've grabbed my pink one, and this one is called Cherry Pink. So I'm pretty sure this one has still got some juice left in it because I don't use it that often. But my cactus green one I was always using. So let's do this. Yeah, there's plenty on there, I can see it. So once again, resting down, not over squishing things. And if you've got larger film strip stamps, then you can do exactly the same thing that I'm doing here. So just a little bit of pressure. It seems to be up here in the delicate parts where it needs a little bit more. I'm going back down. I can see where it's my ends, because I always get worried about putting too much pressure. Right, whatever that looks like is what I'm going to stick with. And it's a little bit blotchy, but that's okay, we're being distressed. But the stamp, if you're using like VersaFine or something like that, it's going to stamp perfectly, and I will prove that to you after. It's just this technique is very distressed is the best way to say it. Right, I'm going to let that dry for a minute and I will be right back. Right, so I've done that, and you can see that the pink one is very kind of distressed. My brown one I think is closest to dry, so I'm going to use that one first, and I'm going to leave my pink one and play with that at the weekend. So I'm just cutting out really roughly at the moment just to get this one. And if you take a look at this, you can see that when you lay it over, I'm going to give you a close-up, you've got, I'm hoping that my camera is showing it right. Let me hold that down. You've got a glossy film strip. Trying to catch it in the light here. Probably going to be better when I cut it out. So what I want to do is go all around the edge with some of my glue. And I'm just dragging my mat back for a second. Move that out of the way. So I've got my piece down here. And I only want ever such a little bit all up the edge. So I'm putting more on my mat than on my piece. It's a bit like making a shaker, you know. You only want a little bit because you don't want it totally squishing within the window. So I've got that there. And I'm going to pick that up and move that out of my puddle that I just made and pop that there. And then I just need to line this up. So anything that needs trimming I'm going to do when this is dry. And it's going to need trimming right up there. Right, I'm just going to let that dry and I will be right back. Right, so while that's still drying, it's a little bit, you know, juicy up at the top there. I've got a scrap of paper. I've got this. This has been cleaned, but as I said, StazOn will stain it permanently. And this is overhanging the stamp slightly, so you'll have to forgive me. But I don't know what it is, you know, about my weather, but my ink pads dry out very, very quickly. All except for my distress inks. So now I'm going down with VersaFine Clair on there and see what we get. There you go. You can see that it does stamp. It's just that, you know, I'm overhanging the edges on both sides. Got a little bit there, but, you know, but it does stamp. Now, if you've got heat, what's it called? Heat resistant acetate, then you can actually emboss. Use your StazOn, use your embossing powder, and then heat emboss it, and it will dry instantly and look a lot crisper than this is. But I can see that I've still got, you know, a bit of juicy wet glue everywhere. And I'm wondering if I can... No, I'm just going to have to let it dry. I'll be back in 10 minutes. So I just started cutting it out and I realised I didn't have my camera running. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've flipped it over and I'm cutting it from the cardstock side. And you can see that my glue is still a bit, you know, so I'm going to have to use some Goo Gone in a minute. And clean my scissors. We're going to go across there. And then we're going to go up here. And then what you end up with, and I'm hoping that my camera is going to pick it up, is a little film strip. Now, I don't know if there's anything wrong with my inks, to be honest, because I have had them for a few years and I noticed a couple of my pads have all dried out. And I wonder if they need re-inking or I just need to buy new ones, but they usually look a lot nicer than currently, I have to say. Usually get a much crisper image. I'm trying to get my camera to work. There we go. But if you wanted to, you can get a little Q-tip and you can dip into your StazOn and you can just like dot it so that you've got that kind of like smudged sepia window and just a little bit of image that's sticking through. But that needs trimming a lot at the bottom there. I've just noticed it's going right over my film strip. So that is the finished one, and I just think it's a shame that my camera and the sunshine really doesn't want to pick it up. Ah, there we go. You see what I mean about that smudginess? It's just really lovely. So if I move all of my gubbins out of the way and bring this in, if you can see that, Just a lovely little piece that you could pop onto your journal. And this is really nice actually, because you can you know, it doesn't matter which way that foliage is going. It's just really pretty. And it looks absolutely gorgeous as well if you emboss in gold. But I do apologise. I've got no heat resistant acetate at the moment. So that is what I've got. So I had absolute awesome fun playing with GLOBELAND, and I've got to tell you, and I will be absolutely honest, I've got a special box now for GLOBELAND because they go into my forever dies. I know that I'm going to use them again, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope GLOBELAND's watching and saw that I did 3 videos and behaved myself. Right, have an absolutely awesome weekend, and as usual, all links below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.